this is Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting. Thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome to my card making for beginners course. This is another one in my series 2. I made 2 series because the first series used things from last year's annual catalogue. So all the things that you see in this year's series 2, will be available to buy, whereas some of the things from last year, although all the techniques and the ideas are great, there are some items that you won't be able to buy now because they've been discontinued. Anyway, today I'm bringing you this card. I actually featured this on my blog on Saturday for a blog hop, which the theme was keep it simple, and I thought I would use it as my simple project for beginners for today. Basically, it's showcasing this DSP. This is Expressions in Ink. It's absolutely beautiful. This one's got gold highlights. I've shown you another card that I did, a portrait card with just a sentiment printed on it. Absolutely beautiful. Very, very easy to make gorgeous cards with this paper. So I'm just going to show you very quickly how I made this one. Very, very easy to do. So first of all, I'm going to take a piece of basic white card and my trimmer. I've already cut this. This was a sheet of A4 card that I've cut in half, and I'm going to score it at 10.5 here. This measures 21 centimetres. I'm going to score at 10.5. There we go, and that's my card blank. That actually met quite well. Sometimes you have a little, if you don't do it absolutely accurately, you have a little bit of an overhang and might need to trim that off, but today that worked fine. Right, now then, what I did here was I backed the whole panel on a piece of pale papaya. I'm going to use polished pink today. And then I just did 2 little strips of pear pizzazz on this one, and today I'm going to use shaded spruce. This is the piece of DSP that we're using today. These abstracty flowers. Hasn't got any gold foil on it, but it's still really, really pretty. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece of polished pink at 6.5, I think it was. Like so. And then that is going to mat onto there. Might be slightly wider than the one I did before. Don't know whether to trim a little bit more off. Now I'm going to leave it. I'm going to have a wider border. So I'm going to mount that on there, and then I'm going to take a piece of shaded spruce, which is one of our Regals colours, and I'm going to cut 2 little strips that are 3 centimetres. So you need to measure here. It's the first line that you can actually see, basically, because the other 2 are right by the cutter. So just line that up and cut. Very easy to do. Get a really nice little strip, and then do exactly the same again, like so. And then we can start putting it all together. Put away my trimmer. So we need some Tombow. And we're going to mount this piece of, so actually we could make a card with this has got gold on it, and this is beautiful as well. But I'm going to stick with my plan and use the floral piece. And just put some Tombow on the back here. And then use cocktail stick, the Chapman method of gluing, apparently. And just smooth that out. Really liked, if this is one of my first videos you've watched, I really like doing this because it means that you get a very fine layer, but a very tacky layer of glue, and you don't get it all squidging out at the sides and spoiling your project. Right, now we need to line this up. We're trying to get it straight to start with. So just make sure you think that's straight, and then the same gap here as here. And then we're just going to take these 2 little strips. I'm just going to bring my bone folder in. Because I cut it on my trimmer, it's just got a bit of a lip. I'm just going to get rid of that by just burnishing it. And then we are just going to drizzle a little bit of Tombow along here, not very much. And again, just smooth that out with a cocktail stick. Like so. And then this is just going to butt up against the pattern paper. So you just have a slight ridge there that you can just butt that up against. Oh, that's nice. Quite liking these colours. And then again with the other piece, a little bit of Tombow. There we go. And again, butt that up against here. There we go. And then this is going to mount onto our white. And you see I've just made, so it's a slight overlap there. And then I can just trim this off and get a really flush edges on there. So again, a bit more Tombow. And then a cocktail stick. So yeah, I always make my panels slightly bigger like this so that then I can trim them off and it will be a really flush edge and you don't get any gaps or anything. Little details like that will make your cards look much more professional and less. You want them to look handmade, you don't want them to look homemade. I always think there's a bit of a difference. You want them to look professional. Oh, no, and that needs to be a bit higher up, I think. It needs to be slightly higher up than down the bottom. The gap needs to be bottom because we're going to put a sentiment down there. I was forgetting about that. And there we go. Now, get a bit of wiggle room with the Tombow. So if you're not quite sure that it's straight, just take time to amend it now. Just use a bone folder to glue that all down really securely. And then just take your snips. And just so you can lean the blade of your snips on the cardstock. You don't want to cut into the card. You just want the blade to follow the line of the cardstock of the card blank, like so. And then this side. There we go. Really nice patterned card. They make beautiful cards so easily. Right, I've mounted up this stamp. This is a thanks stamp from the Ornate Thanks set. Really lovely. I love these big ones. I haven't used these little ones much, but I do love these big ones. And we're going to stamp it in Shaded Spruce to just take that colour through. So, Shaded Spruce is not a colour I use very much. I do like it though, but I haven't used it an awful lot. I'm just going to stamp this onto a piece of scrap paper and just make sure it's not too juicy. I haven't used this colour before very much. Oh, that's fine. It's very dark. I think it will dry lighter than that though. So, ink it up again. Excuse my head if it gets in the way. I just need to be right over this to make sure I'm getting it straight, hopefully. And stamp. Yep, that's fine. And there we have it. One very simple, keep it simple, simple little card. But you can make a whole range of these with this set of DSP, or you could do it with any set of DSP. It would look brilliant, and it just sets it off. And one thing it does do is illustrate just how well Stampin' Up stuff all goes together really nicely. On this one we've got Pear Pizzazz and Pale Papaya, and the cardstock links into there, and the ink colour links into there, and then the Pale Papaya links into the flowers. Here we've got Polished Pink with those flowers, the Shaded Spruce, and then the Shaded Spruce ink. So it just demonstrates really well how things all go together there. So that's it from me today. Hope you've enjoyed that. I hope if you want to see all my card making for beginners, they're in playlists below. So if you look at my playlist, there's a series 1 and a series 2. But also press the subscribe button so that you don't miss any episodes. If you press the subscribe and then the bell, you'll get a notification when I post, so you'll know. But usually my beginner series is every Tuesday. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Ask me any questions. I'm always glad to help. Especially beginners. I love getting people started on their card making journeys. But that's it from me today. Thank you for joining me, and I'll be back again really soon. Bye.